What is your minimum credit score to buy a home, and why is credit important? How's it going, everyone? This is Matias, the People's Realtor, and today we're going to be talking about what credit scores you need to qualify for a mortgage. But before we do, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to my channel, and if you already have, I thank you for doing so. Okay, let's get started. I want to clarify, I sell houses, not money. I recommend you consult with your licensed mortgage lender regarding this information. Before we talk about the numbers, I just want to say up front, your credit score is not the only factor that comes into play when you're trying to qualify for a mortgage. Also, we're vaguely going to talk about other considerations that are just as important as your credit. So, the two main types of mortgages are conventional and FHA. I'll go into more depth on both of those mortgages in a separate video. First, the conventional mortgage. These are mortgages that come from banks or other mortgage lenders that do not have any backing from the federal government. So, that money they are lending out, they're taking a much larger risk on. There is no insurance that's going to help them if you're not to pay it back. These loans are going to require a higher credit score for conventional loans. Generally, the bottom credit score scale that you would need to have in order to potentially qualify is a 620 credit score. Now, that's just the entry level to get in the door. Of course, the higher your credit score, typically the better the interest rate. If you can get a 720 to 760 credit score, this will give you the opportunity to get the best rates. Anything 760 or above doesn't really make a difference regarding your interest rates. Now, you should know that the credit scores used for the mortgage is slightly different than the credit scores you'll see on a Credit Karma or other free credit score sites. Typically, a mortgage FICO score is going to be a few points lower than the FICO score you'd actually see on those free sites. Now, you may know that there's more than one credit score. There are 3 different major credit reporting agencies, and the scores they have for you are typically slightly different. The 3 reporting agencies being TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. So what they're going to do is look at all the numbers, and essentially they're going to throw out the top score, throw out the bottom score, and they're going to take the middle score. And that's the credit score they use. Now, many people, when they're getting a mortgage, they're not getting a mortgage alone. If you are getting a mortgage with more than one person, that means that they're going to pull both your credit scores. What they will do is go through the same exact process and base it off the lower of the 2 scores. Now let's talk FHA. The FHA loans, these loans are still given by banks and mortgage companies, but these loans are insured against loss by the Federal Housing Administration, better known as FHA. The FHA credit score minimum is 580 in most cases if you put at least 3.5% down for a down payment. Now, there are FHA loans that go down to 500. Those typically need about 10% for a down payment. FHA loans will typically have higher interest rates that come with mortgage insurance that you're going to have to pay. So typically you are going to pay more for an FHA than you would for a conventional loan. The other factors that come into play would be your work history, income, debt load, and other derogatory remarks that may be on your credit. One of the most important pieces is your monthly debt to income ratio. All right, that wraps it up for me. If you have any further questions or other topics you'd like me to cover in the future, drop it in the comments below, and while you're down there, make sure you subscribe.